So it's not exactly a fandom. I'm not a fan of video games. I actually had to learn a lot about video games in the process of making this.
I know gamers, and Anita is no gamer.
I'm not a fan of video games. I'm not a fan of video games. I'm not a fan of video games.
I've been playing video games a long time now, and Anita is no gamer. She is barely a student at gaming, and after watching hours of people's video gameplay and reading countless articles on Wikipedia, there are still major gaps in her understanding. Perhaps it is not that video games is a male-dominated space, but that video games have a rich history and deserve a critic who knows what she is talking about. Will anyone honestly say that Anita knows as much about video games as Roger Ebert knew about movies? Just because you proclaim yourself a feminist doesn't make you an expert in something. Did Anita think she could become an expert of video games overnight? What she has done is just take a naive look at video games through this feminist prism of hers without knowing anything about the industry, and the problems she finds are so far-reaching that they border on the absurd. I could hand her a deck of playing cards with random pictures on them, and I would ask her what she sees, and she would tell me she sees either female signifiers, tropes, sexism, or the patriarchy on every single one. Anita is a trope of herself. She is like the female feminist character that is placed into a script to give feminists a bad name. The bossy know-it-all that makes it her mission to suck the joy out of life. 2 minutes into a conversation with her, and she tells you you're the source of all wickedness in the world, that your toxic masculinity has done the world into another dark age. If you follow the news, you might think that joblessness, Ebola, cancer, heart disease, or Republicans were the problem, but you would be wrong. It is damsel in distress trope defined by Anita, and it is an insidious place where the patriarchy is a cruel master plan in place for more than 30 years to destroy the female psyche and place womankind in a form of cyber subjugation for the next 1,000 years. Don't worry about Muslims. That is the Republican boogeyman. The real danger are the ones that call themselves gamers. When you watch Anita, she is all smiles because she thinks she has unraveled our plans for male domination. Yet, if she was not so easily seduced by conspiracy theories, she might have not been duped by the tale of Donkey Kong. If she had played a game or two, she would know that Donkey Kong and Mario were in a number of games together. Sure, it all started with Donkey Kong, but this was only the first act. If Anita knew anything about video games, she would have known that movies, like games, usually follow an ordered series. There are in fact 3 other Donkey Kong games: Donkey Kong 2, Donkey Kong 3, and Donkey Kong Jr. In Donkey Kong 2, Mario does have to rescue his girlfriend again, but in Donkey Kong 3 and Donkey Kong Jr., the girlfriend is not in the picture. This would also be a good time to remind everyone that Donkey Kong is not a tale of damsels in distress. It wasn't told from Mario's perspective. It was told from Donkey Kong's point of view. In fact, the Peter Jackson King Kong came out, it was movie critics that reminded everyone that the story was about racism, and Kong symbolized the black man who lusts after white women. Being a pop culture critic, Anita should know this. It would seem that not only is Anita no gamer, but her pop culture credentials should be called into question. In the movie Training Day, Denzel Washington's character proclaims, "King Kong got nothing on me." Anyway, in Donkey Kong 3, Donkey Kong no longer has the girl, but is still pursued by Mario, because Mario wants to imprison him. Being a simple arcade game, this is the whole story. Mario must fight off swarms of bugs to capture the ape. There are no other parties. There's only man and ape. In Donkey Kong Jr., Donkey Kong has been caught, and it is up to his son to release him. But where is the girl, Anita? She must be at home making Mario a sandwich. That must be the implied sexism in the game, the patriarchy. Those blasted male game designers with their pernicious hidden messages about women. Bastards.